What if the X-Men fought Thanos instead of the Avengers in Infinity War? Alright, Marvel fanatics, let's dive into the greatest hypothetical since... What if Wolverine stopped shaving? Imagine Thanos, the Mad Titan himself, descends on Earth with his snazzy glove full of bling, aka the Infinity Gauntlet. But instead of the Avengers assembling, it's the X-Men stepping up to save the day. Would things go smoother? Would they go worse? Would Thanos regret his life choices the moment Wolverine gets in his face? Let's break it down! Step 1. The team dynamics. The Avengers had their fair share of drama, sure. But the X-Men? Oh, they redefined the word dysfunctional. You've got Cyclops yelling orders like he's everyone's dad. Wolverine ignoring said orders because stabbing things is his therapy. And Magneto probably flipping a coin on whether to help or just take the gauntlet for himself. And don't even get me started on Jean Grey. One second, she's the most powerful telepath on the planet. The next, she's turning into Phoenix and burning half the battlefield because someone gave her that look. Thanos might think twice when he sees her glowing eyes. But let's be real, he'd probably just smirk and say, "I've snapped people scarier than you." Step 2, the strategy. The Avengers' plan in Infinity War was, not great. Let's split up and hope for the best isn't exactly a playbook you'd want to frame. The X-Men? They'd probably do a little better. Professor X would whip out Cerebro and immediately locate Thanos, or give him a splitting headache. Storm would conjure a continent-sized lightning storm to slow him down. Meanwhile, Nightcrawler would bamf around the battlefield, teleporting Infinity Stones out of Thanos' reach. But then, just as things are looking promising, someone, looking at you, Wolverine, would decide to rush Thanos head-on. He's just a big purple dude, bub. Or stab punch! Wham! Wolverine would be flung halfway across the galaxy, leaving everyone else to pick up the pieces. Step 3, the heavy hitters. Here's where it gets spicy. The X-Men have some absolute game-changers on their roster. Let's do a quick rundown. Jean Grey, Phoenix. She could obliterate Thanos with a thought, if she doesn't lose control first, and accidentally wipe out her own team. Classic Jean. Magneto. That gauntlet is made of metal. You know Magneto would just yoink it off Thanos' hand and strike a pose. Now, I am inevitable. Rogue. A sneak attack from Rogue could drain Thanos' powers and leave him sulking in a corner. Of course, she'd also absorb his maniacal nihilism, which might be problematic. Storm. Storm could summon a hurricane the size of Jupiter. Thanos might think he's tough, but let's see how he feels about being electrocuted 10,000 times in a row. With this lineup, you'd think the X-Men could win in no time, right? Wrong! Enter Cyclops screaming, "Stick to the plan!" while Wolverine flips him off mid-brawl. Step 4, the StarLord Moment. StarLord. The man who single-handedly doomed the universe because he couldn't wait 5 seconds to punch Thanos in the face. Now, who's the X-Men equivalent? Easy! Gambit. You know Gambit would flirt with Thanos mid-fight, trying to charge up a deck of cards for maximum sass. Mon ami, you're looking a little too purple for my taste. Cue a massive explosion that makes things worse. And don't underestimate Beast pulling a Peter Quill move either. This isn't logical, Thanos. I must challenge your philosophy. Sure, Beast. Debate the genocidal maniac while the world burns. Step 5, the final battle. Eventually, it all boils down to Thanos getting the upper hand because, let's face it, that's what the script demands. But just when he's about to snap, Professor X steps in. With a telepathic nudge, Charles freezes Thanos mid-monologue. "I sense you're a deeply troubled soul, Thanos. Shall we talk about your childhood?" But wait, plot twist! Magneto sees an opportunity. Why stop the snap when we could use it to wipe out humanity's oppressors? Now it's the X-Men fighting each other while Thanos is stuck in the world's most awkward therapy session. So who wins? Honestly, it's a toss-up. The X-Men have more raw power and strategic potential than the Avengers ever did. But their infighting might make the whole thing collapse faster than Scarlet Witch saying, "No more mutants." If they somehow keep it together, Rogue drains Thanos, Jean disintegrates him, or Magneto snatches the gauntlet and makes himself the new Mad Titan. Either way, it's gonna be a mess. But hey, at least we get an epic Wolverine versus Thanos scene, complete with snarky one-liners. Final thoughts. If the X-Men had taken on Thanos instead of the Avengers, it would have been a lot messier, more emotional, and somehow even more chaotic. But would it be entertaining? Absolutely. So who's writing the fanfic and when does Marvel start filming this What If episode?